Make us cry, Steve.
Okay. So I want to start and say that Megan could have asked anyone else in the room to be holding the microphone right now, but she picked me and Tim, so that's her own fault. I've been writing my brain for 3 to 4 months, trying to find the perfect anecdote that kind of just explains how much I love Megan. But for some reason, my amygdala and lizard brain just kept on pushing this particular story forward. So, as a way of expressing my love for Megan, I'm going to tell the story of what my brain remembers as the biggest fight we ever had. When I was 9, I really liked science, and I used to spend all day, every day, all summer catching bugs and doing science. So like hypothesis, data collection, I forgot the scientific method, and then conclusions. And so I used to like to do things like, I'm going to take a 2-liter bottle of Sprite and fill it with 2 dozen bees, and then add chocolate pudding and put it in the sun for 2 hours and see what happens. It's science. Or I'm going to take a 2-liter bottle of Sprite, maybe a Coke bottle this time, fill it with 3 dozen bees, and put it like motor oil in a ham sandwich, and then bury it in the woods to see what would happen in the name of science. And Megan saw me burying these bees covered in motor oil in the woods, and she was so upset. She started crying and goes, "Steve, you can't do this. This is how serial killers are born. You start off with bees, and then you move to puppies, and then to people. How would you feel if I covered you in poison and put you in the sun to bake?" And I went, "You're right. It would not be good." So Megan, I was like playing in the tree fort or something, and she snuck in the woods because she was so upset that I buried these bees. And so she unburied the bees to set them free, but they were all dead because it was wasps and bees and bumblebees, and they all killed each other and were covered in motor oil. So what I'm trying to say is that is the biggest fight that Megan has ever had. So that is the bar for what Megan does emotionally and in relationships. Chris, I think you got a pretty easy path ahead.
Steve, that was really helpful. Thanks.
Now, let's really talk some of those things.
So, I spent the last month or so saying that I wasn't going to use a metaphor to explain my relationship with Megan, but I'm a dyer, and pretty much doomed to use a stupid metaphor. So, me, Megan, and Steve are bees, and since we've been together for so long, we know exactly what each other is thinking, what our feelings are without having to express it verbally. We have a type of shared brain, hive mind, if you will. And just like a bee can shake its tail and tell all the other bees where all the honey is, I know exactly what this means when Megan goes. That means I have a migraine in 10 to 15 minutes, and the only thing you can do is have Steve shut the hell up for 2 or 3 minutes, and it might go away. So I would just like to say that I've had the best time in the last 20 years sharing a brain with such a beautiful, smart, caring, and loving person like yourself. And I'd just like to say that. And as for Chris, I know as an only child, our bee's nest must have been swarming, stinging you in the face at times. Steve's spots out of your arms, stuff like that. Must have been a little tough, but you definitely in the last 4 years jumped in the beehive with us. And not only have you become our brother today, but you definitely in the 4 years have been stuck in the face and become our friend. So
Okay, no more metaphors.